Alright, what up people? This your man AE RC8T3.1. Y'all can see I just was running some fuel through the truck. First start up. I just wanted to get some fuel through the lines, start up a little bit. But you can see the body didn't come out too bad now. A couple of y'all said, man, it's alright. So I said, let me slap some stickers on it. And you know, cut it out. And I ended up shoe gluing it. So she's not too bad. You know what I mean? She's looking good. But she, you know, them effects to start right up, baby. So, but yeah, it came out good. See, you can see I shoe glued it. Shoe glue is good, man. And all this is, that little mesh, that's just drywall tape. That's all it is. And then shoe glue. You know, like your shoe and goo. G-O-O. Do a search for it. So if you want to shoe glue your bodies, it makes the body stronger. And you know, your paint won't rub off, and you know, it just makes the body stronger. It adds a little bit of weight, so if you got some weight to you know, you're doing like weight to ratio or something like that, you might don't want to do shoe glue. I mean, it's not a lot of weight, but you know, it does make it a little bit heavier. So that's the finished product, people. You see, I got the motor saver on there. You know what I mean? People run these too. I don't know the part number of this, but let me give you a tip, right? Just do a search for motor saver for low C or team associate, because the team associate and the low C and the Mugen one are the same part number, and that's the it's called motor saver. Just do a search and it comes right up. But if you order these, people, right, order like 2 or 3, because you know they rip. But the reason why, because these people ship slow as shit, man. I'm telling you. So when I order one, I usually order 2 or 3. That way, one rip, I got another one, I order another one, because they ship, I mean, they ship super slow. But you know, you'll get it. And I wanted to show y'all this. I got a couple things I want to holler at y'all about. I'll show y'all. Hold up. Damn, I'm trying to do this one-handed. All right, here we go. Okay, remember I was telling y'all about the switches, right? So if you hold on to the power button, it goes in the light bulb. See that? Now you see that power button is orange. The light is orange. That's because this battery is really in storage mode, so it's low. It's below a percentage. But normally that'll be green with a fully charged battery. All right, and then if it gets too low, this will just cut off. It'll cut off the power, and that way it won't keep draining this battery. Now you hear that sound, right? That's from this servo here. And what that's telling you is that you don't have a connection with your radio. Okay, that's the good thing about these Protex 170 SBLs. Let me grab my radio. Hold on, people, and I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about. My radio right here. Hold on. All right, now if I turn my radio on, see that? It boom. So now it's like, okay, you got connection, you good to go. See what I mean? But now if I kill the radio, all right. So then hold this down again, off. All right. That's a quick little something. Hold on, I want to show you this too. Let me move this out the way. Here's a tip. You know what? I'm gonna have to put the camera. I'm gonna have to mount the camera because I can't do this one-handed. Be right back. All right, people, I'm back, and I wanted to get into some engines and stuff because I got a question from somebody. I think his name Randy. I ain't even gonna try to tear up your last name, but we're gonna get into that for a sec. But let me show you this real quick. Little trick or something I do. All right, this glow igniter, I've had this for years. It's an old Offner. You can see that. It's an old Offner. Now this takes a D battery, but I don't use D battery. What I do it. This has been so reliable, and boom. Now it's a little tore up in here. I need to do this over, but you know, you get your little 2-cell AA battery. I'll hook it up like that, and you just solder it onto the positive, onto the negative. And what that does is I ain't gotta be playing around with batteries. I just pop me some AA's in, and I'm good to go. I use rechargeables, but let's say I don't have no rechargeables. I go to the gas station, give me some AA batteries, and I'm rolling. You know what I mean? So I like these. Now, that's the one with the D battery. Now, I got this one, and I did the same thing to this one. As you can see, this got your gauge on it, and make sure y'all can see that. It got the gauge on it that you can see if your thingamajiggy is all messed up. And I'm going to show you something. Let me pop some, got some batteries in it. Let me get a glow plug. And you can see, it lights you right up. If you can see that. Hopefully y'all can see that. Alright. Don't burn out your glow plugs. It's a little bit more power, but you know, glow plug is usually like 1.5 volts. This will bump you up to probably like 2.4, almost 3, and no problems at all. And you can see your gauge. My gauge still works. So if I put that in there, she glowing. My gauge is still, I don't know if y'all can see it. See how my gauge still reading good. That glow plug's good. If I take that off, now it's saying, you know, nothing's connected. So it still works, and it's very simple. Let me take this out for you. This is if you want to do this. You don't have to. So positive, you see that? Positive go down there. I know this camera might be a little messed up, but positive down there, negative on the back end. Alright, boom. Then I just drilled like a hole through there, tethered it to one of these, and these things here, you can get these off of Amazon or whatever. Little AA battery holder. Alright, that's a little quick tip. That's if you feel like doing that, because you know, like it used to come with these batteries, and these things die on you, man. They stop taking the charge, and what happens is you have to track, either you gotta charge this up or it'll die on you. You think you jammed up. I don't like to be jammed, so when these batteries die, I just slap in some new AA's and I'm gone. And it's a little bit more power to bump that glow plug up a little bit. I've never burnt out a glow plug doing this way. Now, if you want to do it, cool. If not, don't worry about it. It's just something I'm putting out there. All right, let me get set up, because I'm answer this question from my man Randy. Hold on, right back. This question I got from my man Randy. I'm gonna tear up your last name, but he asked me which engine is best for a buggy. Now this is a great question, Randy, and I can't tell you which is best. All right, let me say something. Let me put a disclaimer out there. What I tell y'all is not gospel. Okay, this is just my opinion, and basically you have to do the work yourself and figure out. Only thing I can tell you is basically information about these engines, or which engine you might want to go with. Okay, but it's basically get your information together, see what works for you, because I don't know your pockets, what you're doing with the engine or anything. All right, so basically I'm gonna break it down into two categories. It's basically you bashing or you racing. Okay, so let's start with, now rock crawling, we ain't gonna get into all that, because that's something else that I really don't even know about. But bashing or you racing, so let's do bashing first. Bashing, all right, bashing, you basically zipping up and down in the park, you with your homies, y'all doing your thing. You might be in the backyard, you might be in a pit or something, whatever, or even in front of your house on the street, whatever, but you're not on a track, a racetrack. All right, bashing, more than likely you want to go with the biggest and baddest thing you can get, and that's probably like the .32 by LRP or the No Rossi 28.8. Okay, now you can also do Aroma by No Rossi, that's a .25, and then you might want to get it modified, because at that point, you know, when you bashing your homies, you know, you trying to be the king or whatever, you know, I get it. So you rip, you know, and then you start playing with your pipes and the manifolds and exhaust pipes and all that, and clutches and all that. That's another video, you know what I mean? That's something else. We're just talking about engines for your buggy, which ones is best for your buggy. All right, now I have ran both of these engines in a buggy. I mean, they'll say they for the truggy, but I have ran both these in a buggy. And like I said, you know, you doing your thing, you zipping, you know, you trying to get the biggest and baddest. Now, you can put a .21 in your buggy for bashing, you know what I mean, and it'll make it agile, zip around, and be good. It's not wrong with that. But normally people want the biggest and baddest when they bashing. You know, you trying to beat your homies and talk trash, you know what I mean? So me personally, I do bash, but I prefer racing more. I'm gonna tell you, I prefer practice more than racing, because with practice I can slap in different motors, different clutches, different pipes, everything. I can just keep trying things and get much run time as I can. With racing, your car kind of got to be set up, and you can change it a little bit, but you got to be really ready to rock and roll. Then you might got a Marshall. You don't get a lot of run time, because then the E-word guys got to run, or whatever other class that you're not in got to run, or whatever. So, but racing is fun, you know what I mean? But I prefer practice at a track more than likely everything. But this is not a diss to my bashing brothers. Like, I do like the bash. There's nothing wrong with that. All right. So that's basically, if you bashing, you know, like I said, with bashing, it's more to me. This is me. It's like, really, you just trying to get the biggest and baddest, and you done. And only really biggest and baddest nitro motors is the 32. All right. And we're going to do stock. Okay. 32 or 28.8 by No Rossi. And there's also the Roma by No Rossi, the .25. Now Pico has a 28 too, also. But far as biggest motor, it's the 32. Now some quality issues, stuff like that. We ain't gonna get in all that. And then you can get them modified to make them a little faster. Now you can also run a modified .21 and get a little even more faster with the 21. You know, it just depends on what you looking to get, your money, all that. All right. Now, let's say you racing in your buggy. Racing, more than likely you want to put a .21 in there. The reason why you don't want to do a 32 or 28, whatever, a big boy. And I have ran the 28.8 at the track in my buggy, and I'm gonna tell you, it was terrible. Because in the track, you don't have really the wide openness. You know what I mean? It's more technical. Unless the track is wide open and it's fast. Okay? So I have ran and it was terrible, and I couldn't I was like over jumping things and damn near going off the side because it's just too fast. You know, it's just too fast. With a .21, it's just the right amount of power. It's still quick and still get you around the track nice, but it's more drivable with a .21. Now, with a .21 and a buggy, you have different ports, okay? This is a Mito 7. This is a 7 port, okay? And also this Paloma by No Rossi. These two are 7 ports, okay? Difference between, you got 7 ports, and then you got 5 ports, then you got 3 ports, okay? All right, 7 ports. It's going to be a lot more power there, and you're going to get a lot more top end. But you're gonna sacrifice gas mileage for that, okay? And you gotta depend on what kind of track you run it. If the track is more technical, you might need a little more bottom end. And if you really don't want to be stopping for gas all the time, you're trying to save gas, you might don't want to go with a 7 port, okay? So next is a 5 port. A 5 port is basically the best of both worlds between a 3 port and a 7 port. 5 port gonna still give you a lot of top end, and it's also gonna give you bottom end, and it's good on the gas, better than the 7 port. All right, and all these motors. Oh wait, let me go with 3 port. A 3 port is gonna give you a lot more bottom end, and it's gonna be instant with a 3 port. The gas mileage is gonna be good. Now, you're going to lose some top end though, because the 3 port, it doesn't have the extra ports, but the gas mileage is good, the bottom end is good. They also got 4 ports, like this. This is a No Rossi 21.4. This is a keep off. This is a great motor, and it has the bottom end is great, top end is nice, and it has great gas mileage. And I rock with this motor all day. So you have to balance that. Now, all these motors here, you can kind of get either, let's say you go with this one here, you want a little bit more top end. You can add a bigger clutch bell onto it. Like say you starting with 13, you can put a 14 on there. That'll give you a little bit more top end. You can add different pipe setup on there, so it breathe better, get you more top end. Let's say you say, okay, no, I really want the 7 port. All right, cool. You can go with a more bottom end pipe. You can bring the clutch bell down a little bit to a 13 tooth, and that'll work for you. You know what I mean? That'll give you more bottom end, but you still have that nice top end. Also, you can play with your Venturis. Bigger the Venturi, bigger the power. You know what I mean? The more power you're gonna make. Again, but more power equals less gas mileage, and you have to remember all that when you're racing. Okay. Now, I'm gonna say this. Let's go back to bashing real quick. If you bashing, you ain't worrying about gas mileage. You putting the biggest Venturi in, and boom, 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 and you done. All right. So you're really not worrying about gas mileage. All right. Now, if you're racing, you worrying about gas mileage. You definitely want top end, but more than likely the track is more technical. Okay. Now, let's say I'm on a technical track. It's a straightaway, but it might be only one straightaway. I'm really not going to do a 7-port because it's no need for it, because I won't see all this speed only on the straightaway, and that's it. But what I'm looking for with a more technical track is bottom end and gas mileage. Okay. So this right here, this is my baby right here. This K3.1. Excellent motor. Nice top end, bottom end is crazy, and it's good on the gas, and it's reliable as all hell. Alright, so that's what I'm going to go with. Alright, like again, you got to ask yourself what's going to work for you. Alright, there's plenty motors out there you can go with. I really can't say this one is the best, but I can give you some ideas. You can never go wrong with a Novi. No Rossi make great motors. They cheaper. The quality with them has been slacking a little bit as far as the bearings. I have noticed that. I don't know if it's because when the wife took over or something, and I don't know, but I've had some issues with their bearings. But they are great motors, and they are reliable, okay? And you got different flavors, 7-port, 4 ports, 3 ports. No, Rossi is not bad, okay? No, matter of fact, I think Novi only make 4 ports and 7 ports. I believe that. Now, if you go with, let's say you go with something Rids. Rids make decent motors too. This is WRX. This is a 5-port. Okay, this is a nice motor, nasty. Great gas mileage. Probably one of the best gas mileage engines I've ran. Okay, nothing wrong with this motor. I wouldn't recommend the R5R. To me, that motor just didn't have a lot of oomph to it. Not saying it wasn't a bad motor, but it didn't have a lot of oomph. Alright, but this WRX, fast, powerful, gas mileage is good. 5-port. I like this motor. Alright. Now you also got OS. Now, but OS is proven they good motors, but they a little expensive as far as like their bearings. Like that B2101, that rear bearing for that motor is $100. So you gotta ask yourself, you know what I mean? Is your pockets deep like that? If your pockets is built, then hey, rock out, do your thing. But if you on a budget like most of us are, OS might not be the way you want to go. Not saying they not good motors, but if your pockets is, you might don't want to go with that. You know what I'm saying? So now it's other ones out there, man. You got Pico, you got LRP, you got plenty of other motors. You have to ask yourself, what are you looking for as far as ports? Easy to tune. Are you racing? Are you bashing? All right. What else can I tell you? Also, when you picking out a motor too, you need to see what type of Venturi you're going to run. Because just because it's in a buggy doesn't mean that you got to go with a 9mm Venturi, unless you bashing. Let's say you bashing, that's something different. But you putting this in a buggy, you might want to tame it down with something because you racing. You need more bottom end to be technical. All right, so usually I run 7mm Venturis in mine. That works for me with a 14-2 clutch belt. That's like my setup, and then I change up my pipes and everything from there. All right, I'm sure I missed something, but this will get you kind of on the right track or kind of get you thinking. Again, nothing wrong with no Rossies. If you got a little bit more paper, go with the FX, or you might want to go with the Reds. Me personally, I'm rocking the FX engines now. I like these. These joints is great. No problems with these. They're a little pricey, but man, they are so much quality and they just run magnificent. Like, I really like these FX engines. You know what I mean? Everything doesn't work for everybody. You know what I mean? So you gotta figure out what works with you. But I recommend these. If you got the money and everything, you won't be disappointed in this. Also, the Reds is good too. No problem. This might be a little bit more expensive though. Oh, another key I want to touch in on. I can recommend and say this. Whatever motor you go with, make sure it has the DOC coated crank. Okay, DLC coated crank is usually the black crank, and usually the reds motors run them. This one have, but the effects motors have them, and the OS motors have them. Now, No Rossi is starting to do the DLC coated cranks now. Okay, and the reason why you want this is because the rod lasts so much longer. The crank lasts so much longer. Okay, where the wear is like practically none. All right, and that's all, you know, with longevity. Not saying these motors won't last you long, but the wear is a lot more on this one because it's not DLC coated than it is on this one that's DLC coated. So that all plays a part, weighs in. You might have to change your rod and your crank before you have to do that on this one. All right, okay. All right, my man. Hopefully that helped you out. I'm sure I missed something else. Who knows? But people, if you got any more questions, hit me up. I'll do a video or I'll answer you back. This thing is like Home Depot. You can do it, we can help. All right? Hit me up. This your man, Raj 111, and I'm gone. Peace.